The entire town now seems to be a disaster area, and while authorities and relief workers from Monarch are redoubling their efforts, it seems everybody's working at capacity. And
Time was
reports coming
broken.
from all across
Working out of sync. The city was in a state of chaos. The end of time was closing in.
And you still believed you could fix it?
The solution was inside Monarch Tower. A countermeasure.
The CFR, as Monarch knew it. The key to the lifeboat protocol. Monarch's survival plan. But that didn't seem to matter to you.
I had a better plan.
I mean, we have to win. We're talking to her.
Okay then.
Oh, shit.
Christ!
And that's why I stood still for a second. Oh shit, enemies. Didn't even see this one. We gotta remember we can run up to those and like sabotage their packs. Don't have to go very far to run though, do we? That's nice. That uses up the whole charge though. Its cooldown time isn't awful, but it's not great. Go down faster, please. Okay.
Now, where do they keep the countermeasure? Shouldn't be too hard to find. Just the biggest damn building in Riverport.
I'm a little bummed I've only deflected 200 bullets. I feel like I use that thing all the time. That train's not gonna keep flying at me, is it? Can I go? Oh, okay. Well, it's not gonna accept our handprint.
Jack? I hope you can hear me.
Fiona? Is that you?
Yes. I wasn't sure if I could make this work. Listen, the CFR, it's not easy to reach, but you can access it from Serene's office. A friend of mine has unlocked the CFR chamber, but the rest of the place is still in lockdown. I think I could help you with that. Like this.
I guess you can.
She's doing this from the lifeboat?
So maybe you don't have to run into him.
Wait, and Serene didn't just leave? He left the building? We have to have some kind of final confrontation with Paul, don't we? Do we want to go up? Yeah, we want to go up. Okay. I feel really bad for that poor janitor.
Buildings in lockdown. The hell's that?
Well, it means he can't go in or out of it.
Poor bastard doesn't know anything about the train crash. Hope he doesn't have a heart attack when time resumes.
Ah, elevator, okay. I don't know how many were in there, but they should all be taken care of.
Paul's office.
Got stuff over here.
I really don't want to go outside.
Luther Talbot to Pablo Torres. Have we seen either of those names before?
There's no way for them to understand what's happening.
I think it's getting close. You better get your ass to a stutter-proof area. Still can't believe this is real, but you've seen what it's like out there. Half the world's going to shit. Just glad we're in here. I don't know how it's gonna all play out, but at least we get a chance. Maybe we can fix things later. I bet these science guys can work it out, right? And hey, if you see that Jack Joyce asshole, just run, dude, okay? I was talking to Clarice, and I didn't realize this before. I thought he was just sneaky or lucky or something, but I saw some battle reports from the field, and he's just a machine. Fucker just shoots his way through everything we throw his way. I know this place is safe, but I figure he'll show up sooner or later. I heard he's got some personal beef with Serene. So when he comes, you better stay out of his way. Let the Jarheads handle that if they can. If they can. I think that's how that's supposed to be read. If Joyce is coming after Serene, he's going to get pretty mad when he finds out the boss took a chopper out. You hear anything about that? What the fuck was that about? So it could get pretty ugly. See you when the dust clears, I guess. Stay safe, man. Uh-oh, shifter alert. Lifeboat security protocols are now in full effect. Our stutter-proofing has failed, and we have reports of shifters in the building. Oh, shit. We all know the drill. We have trained for this. Do not approach shifters alone. Remember that they are not restricted by the physical space in the same way we are. Deploy dampeners and watch your backs. Work in teams. Remember your tactics. Maintain your distance. Don't take any unnecessary chances. Comms are unreliable due to the stutters, so pass the word to others and take advantage of stutter collapses to communicate as effectively as you can. We are attempting to repair the stutter proofing as quickly as possible, but be advised that contrary to our earlier timeline, which gave us years more to prepare, we believe we are now on the verge of the final zero state, and every single stutter we encounter is more and more likely to be the one that never ends. That means our priorities have changed. The lifeboat protocol is in full effect, and ensuring its success is our only objective, whether the opposition is shifters, Jack Joyce, or anyone else. It's vital that we all remember our training. If we do things right, we will make it out of this, and we will make our way into the lifeboat. Good luck, and make me proud. Okay. So, I think we're gonna get to encounter shifters. Not super looking forward to that. Actually, I kind of am. I'm curious as to what that's gonna be like. Because I think it's gonna be like the
Close
hiss.
to the countermeasure. Paul had the key to fixing the fracture all along, but he didn't see it.
There was nothing to see. He believed the fracture couldn't be fixed. That's why he used the countermeasure, the CFR, to create the lifeboat.
The hell was that? I think they found the shifters.
What the fuck is that? Damn.
Is it... Can I go out? I'm supposed to hide from these things, right?
Fiona, can you get this door open for me?
I think so. Sorry, this isn't quite my forte. I know a guy who would do this in his sleep, but he's about as dependable as... Oh, never mind, that did it.
Well, he's also dead.
Be careful. You'll have company in there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just worried about what kind of company. I mean, I think we try and avoid combat, right? Although it says clear the area of enemies, so... Well, at least they stayed together for me like that. Is it just that one? No, there's two. There's two. Oh, shit. Okay, that one's down. Okay. Saw a backpack over here. Oh god, two of those things?
Is that all you got?
Where was that backpack? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Shit. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I'm just trying to find cover. I think they lost us. Why'd I say anything? Why did you... I'm running out of... Oh, shit. I'm running out of ammo. Okay, that was good. That was good. Oh, I thought I got him. Okay, did that do it? I think that did it. Alright, one of these is easy to deal with. Is the two that was causing a problem. I know I saw a backpack. There should be ammo here somewhere. I didn't mean to do that. Am I a crazy person? I would have... Well, if it was here, I don't know where the hell it went. Okay.
I got a kill countermeasure.
There it is, son of a bitch. Alright, that's okay. We at least didn't have to swap weapons. We found it before I did that. Oh, nope, sorry. I thought that was something to read. Okay. I'm actually a little surprised there doesn't seem to be anything to read in this area. You'd have thought with all these desks. But we've been through here a couple of times and I didn't even see any pop-ups. Do we have to go this way? Like, I feel like this is going directly to the
I'm trying to
shifters.
get to the Sky Bridge.
Skybridge. You're in marketing right now. Okay. Yeah, I think I got it. Hey, Jack. Be careful. There's something really weird going on in this building.
Tell me about it.
Monarch was scrambling. Paul's empire was falling apart all around me. I'd never seen anything like it. But Paul had. That's what he was preparing for all those years. He didn't do a very good job.
Ah. Oh god, we're definitely going towards something.
Holy shit.
I'm waiting for the jump scare. The hell was that? Let's say Time Stabber? Is that the sequel to Time Knife? Yes. About my screenplay and new video. Hey, Sophia. Still haven't heard from you about my screenplay. I know you're busy with all your work, but this is really taking off in a big way, so let's try and get going on this, okay? I know this thing is going to be huge, so I just went ahead and mortgaged my house to make this thing reality. It's my dream, and I'm going to follow my dream. And once I get the Kickstarter going, this thing's going to pay me back for the mortgage, so no problem. I already shot a short promo thing for the KS campaign. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna star in it, but I've got a really cool part for you too if you want it. You'd be perfect for it. Also, like I said, I'm gonna need that science feedback stuff soon. Let me know ASAP. Oh, that dude's gonna lose his house. If he even survives this.
They have a time machine here? Shit. This is where they brought the university core. This is Paul's machine. Looks like they have it on the top floor.
Always the top floor. From Bernard Riker to Paul Serene, a confession. Sir, I know you won't have a chance to read this email until you return to HQ, but I've turned this over in my head repeatedly and I see no other option than to let you know what I have done. I have deactivated the stutter proofing at the building. I had maintenance access and I used it, but I want you to know I did it under tremendous duress. Martin Hatch left me no choice. He threatened my family and I didn't know what else to do. I still don't. I know there are shifters out there. The stutter proofing is gone and I don't have a Cronin harness, so technically I'm safe. Shifters only exist in stutters, and when one of those hits, I freeze just like the rest of the world. So whatever happens during the stutter, I'm safe, barring some kind of desynchronization-related accident. What that means, though, is that one eye blink, I'm here, and the next one there's 2 dead strikers on the floor. Dead because of me. Their blood all over me from nowhere. I'm looking at them right now, typing this on my phone. I can smell the blood and, I don't know, ozone, I guess? What? I don't understand the scent of ozone. I see that shit all the time and I don't know what that means. And smoke. Their gears sparking. They'd be alive if I hadn't. I'm sorry, I think I'm hyperventilating. I don't know if I can hold it together much longer. I don't know why Hatch wanted this to happen, but he did. I think he wants the CFR for some reason. You can't trust that fucker, sir. I know you're close, but I think he's as evil as they come. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm not making excuses. I know I fucked up. I don't know how to deal with this. I have always respected your drive and dedication. You have no idea. But I don't have those things. I'm just an engineer. This is too much for me. If you come back and fix things, please look for my family. They didn't have anything to do with this. Well, Hatch may have made you do it, but Hatch is already dead. Oh, something's coming. Oh shit, look at this hallway. Uh-oh.
What the fuck? Was that Hatch? The train.
Damn it, the one time I look away for a
Personnel,
second.
Stay clear of the lower levels. There's a possible hazard. Repeat, stay clear of the
Hatch is-
lower levels. There appears to be a train crashed into the building.
Another door I need help with, Fiona.
You're at Serene's office. Good. Just a second. This one's a little tricky. Serene's got access to the CFR chamber, and there's going to be a pretty dangerous guy there guarding. Got it. Just be careful, okay?
Paul was already gone, but he left behind the one thing I needed.
Untitled note. I have left this message here for you to find so that soon when the time comes and I ask you to choose, you can do so with your eyes open and some hint of understanding. I have no secrets, and the only thing I chose to admit are the ones that you, in your current limited state, would not be able to grasp no matter how hard I tried to make you understand. I have walked down the same path you are on, or you are now on. Once, from your perspective a long time ago, although time no longer has such meaning to me, I too came in contact with a time machine. In my case, it was not a man-made device, but a natural one in a cave. It should come as no surprise, really, that such things exist, much like the natural nuclear reactors do, such as the now defunct ones in Oklo, Africa. After all, the Myers-Joyce field has its irregularities. I too became Cronin active. I too developed Cronin syndrome. And in time, I too lost control and became a shifter. Became at once everything and nothing, was everywhere and nowhere, died countless deaths and was still alive. My every probability, every possibility happening at once. I promised I would not lie, and thus I tell you, the noise and the pain and the rage were more than anyone could suffer and not go insane. I burned in this fire for a long time. There were brief moments of awareness in this endless nightmare, different versions of certain key moments in my life that I found myself reliving again and again, trying to make things right, like a puzzle, on and on and on. I am convinced that the stutters and the end of time saved me, for those were the only places, the only times, where I could even briefly stop and rest and slowly find focus and control again, and ultimately master this state. Not emerge from it, not be cured, not go back to what I was before, for there is no such thing, but to learn to be in one place and everywhere at once. My perception is altered, like that of someone who has seen a perceptual illusion, and discovered that the picture is both a young girl and an old woman at the same time. Once you see them both, you can never not see them. We are such limited beings. We play with just one piece on just one square of an endless chessboard, just one life, one timeline, in an infinite multiverse of possibilities. Am I an exception? The only one who has ever found his way to the other side? Or is this just a shifter's brief dream before a stutter collapse? There are other shifters. You, your best friend who is now your mortal enemy, Dr. Kim. Others, some of whom you know. It doesn't matter who, because they are gone. And when they emerge, if they ever emerge, they will not be who they were, just as I am not who I was before. I have done my part in helping you all achieve this state. If time is an ocean with a frozen surface, then the stutters at the end of time are holes in the ice, opportunities to come up for air. I have a plan, it's already in motion, but it would be futile to try and explain it to you, like trying to explain 3 dimensions to someone who can only see 1. But make no mistake, I do not look down on you. I strive for humanity even as I shift this world from one state to another. I will make this possible. I stand in between. I don't see myself as a gate. I remain humble. I'm something smaller. A hatch. He's definitely Mr. Door. So Hatch has been a shifter this whole time? That must be what the Chronon eye drops were for. Stabilization, something. Perception, helping with perception. Huh.
My office alarm went off. Is that you skulking around, Jack?
Fuck you. I'm done playing games. I'm here for what you stole.
Yes, of course.
The CFR. If you understood just how much depended on that, you'd leave it alone. But I know you don't care.
You're right. I don't. And it looks like you're not here to stop me.
Yes. Yes, everything will play out as it has to play out. I'll see you very soon, Jack.
Where is he? Is he gonna use it?
I'm done dancing your tune, you crazy bastard.
What would traveling...
It was just a couple of minutes between stutters.
The countermeasure was Paul's prize. Everything he built was based on Will's device. His plan depended on it. You better believe I look forward to taking it from him.
Where would he go back to for it to matter? Time Machine Core. Paul, don't worry about it. We're on schedule. Your Time Machine Core from the university has been transported to the HQ and is currently being installed into the new Time Machine frame we've built for it. You'll have direct access to it from the CFR chamber as requested. And no, before you ask, you can't actually access the CFR chamber from the Time Machine. That elevator can only be activated from within the chamber, so no one working on the machine can get to the CFR. Thought you'd appreciate that layer of added security. I know how important it is to keep the CFR safe. Alright, well, we're going back in time. We're definitely going back to the university then. It's gonna be us helping ourselves. Because if we go into this time machine and go back to right before the fracture, we'd come out at the university. Anyway, I know you don't actually intend to use the time machine, but should you ever need to, all we need to do is deploy the corridor. It's actually all hooked up now, but we're still running some final diagnostics. The tech should be ready with it before the gala is over. Update me. I keep forgetting to start at the bottom of these things. Alright, here we go. Paul, we have now found his plans for acquiring... This is just what happened. Still quite uncomfortable with all this, Paul. I understand your reasoning, and I know the stakes are high, but I don't want to see anybody hurt. It's antithetical to my role as a scientist, and I wish you'd reconsider. Sure, there's a better way to resolve this, moral implications aside. The loss of Dr. Joyce's expertise alone would be a great blow. If everything goes smoothly and quietly, we will transport the core directly to Monarch Tower via the ground route. That's not what happened, we know that. There's commotion, it seems there's any risk of detection, we will instead airlift. Yeah, we know all that. Construction of the new time machine frame at the top of Monarch Tower has been finished since last year. Once we receive the core, it will be installed into the time machine per your orders. I know you don't intend to use it, but even with the limitations the nature of time travel imposes on us, I have to say it seems like a great waste to not take advantage of such a resource, both from a strategic and scientific point of view. I understand why you would feel that way, but this isn't something I take lightly. It's my experience that time travel only complicates things. While my own trip through time has given us great opportunities, also sent me on this path. I want to control it, not use it. That said, I want to have the machine ready to use for emergencies. My foreknowledge of future events will end very soon, and it might prove to be useful to have the option of obtaining more detailed information from the future. Obviously, given the furthest you could go back is the machine's activation at the university, visiting the past seems fairly useless. Also, ensure that the machine is heavily guarded at all times. Nobody is allowed to operate the machine beside myself. I want the corridor to remain undeployed unless I give specific orders to the contrary. As for the Joyce brothers, I intend to give William the option of joining us, if possible, but I know him. He's a very stubborn and unstable man, and I don't think we could ever trust him. I don't need to remind you that he built in that ridiculous little workshop with very limited resources a device that broke the local physics at Ground Zero and caused my Chronon syndrome. I don't intend to give him a chance to show us what else. Beth might be a shifter. Beth might be alive. Because if the Ground Zero blast caused Paul's Chronon syndrome, it should have done the same to Jack and Beth. Beth might still be alive. I don't intend to give him a chance to show us what else he could do if he decides that we're a target. That, along with the visions I've seen, there are certain sentimental reasons that make me wish I could let William live, but I doubt that he makes it possible for us. As for Jack, I'm not too worried about him. It took me a long time to master my abilities, so Jack shouldn't be a major problem unless he manages to use stutters to escape the area. Luckily, stutters should be very rare in these early stages of the fracture. Still, I've come too far to take any chances. I'd prefer to take him alive, but nothing can be allowed to put our plan at risk. I'm sorry to have to involve you in something like this. I know it's not what you signed up for, and as I said, I don't expect you to be personally involved with the part of the operation in any way. I'm not particularly happy about this part myself, and I wish I had better options. But our circumstances are as they are now. I have come too far to falter. I hope you understand. Okay. Yeah. Why aren't we... I guess it took Paul longer to be sick. Paul's been back here for
Paul's
17 years.
Monarch in secret. It probably didn't help with that whole disconnected from reality thing.
I wish my memories about the end of time were clearer, but it was anything but a clear time in my life, and the world was such a jumble. A frozen mess of different timelines crashing together. I was running for my life the whole time trying to avoid the shifters, not an ideal state of mind for gathering intel. And it didn't help that she kept chasing me trying to kill me. Beth Wilder, one of my own people. It was her all along. Even then, trapped in the end of time, as little as I understood about what was going on, I could tell she wasn't like me, that she didn't have the powers I did. I knew she had some kind of technology that kept her going in that suspended hell. Of course, I had no idea it was a device I would eventually have my people develop. I suppose I should appreciate the irony that it was her Chronon harness, my own Chronon harness, that it gave me the idea for the lifeboat protocol. The idea that our technology could let humanity survive the end of time. Suppose I have to thank her for that. She paid for her sins in the end, but she left her mark on me. I know the time to pay for mine is approaching quickly, but not just yet. Back then, when Wilder and I played our game of cat and mouse at the end of time, if I'd had an ounce of control over my powers that I do now, things would have turned out very differently between the two of us. She was strong and had the training, and I was young and weak and scared. Even so, my abilities gave me an edge. I was lucky she didn't have the full striker gear. She was the one with the upper hand. I didn't learn to properly control my abilities until much later. Am I having a stroke? I didn't learn to properly control... That's what it says. Okay. In those days, they were unpredictable and operated on instinct. Control didn't come easy. Well, there's a song about taking control. You should listen to it. I can't help but be aware that this doesn't seem to be the case for Jack. His mastery is growing by leaps and bounds. Is it just because that's the way he's always been? Fast on his feet, bold and adaptive? Or is the fracture affecting him too? I thought we could contain him. It cost us dearly. It's a mistake I will not make again. Oh, we were in this room. Yeah.
Paul saw what was coming. It broke him. He refused to believe that it could be changed, and he cast aside the only people who could have convinced him otherwise.
Quantum Ripple Research Unit. This is to Paul and Martin? I know you've both been arguing that the Quantum Ripple Research Subdivision has great potential and we should keep it funded. I must once again implore you to reconsider. I'll be the first one to admit that the technology is impressive. The fact that Doctors Morphin and Rangers can actually track the consequences rippling out from minor shifts within the Myers-Joyce field is incredible, and the level of informational detail they managed to obtain is amazing. But here's the thing. They've been at this for 2 years now, and they have not produced a single useful result. Yes, we can trace actual events from their small inception point to the actual consequences, very much in keeping with the basic chaos theory concept of the butterfly flapping its wings, but, well, so what? Every single thing that happens in this universe is the result of such a chain of events. Being able to see the chain offers no real insight into anything due to the very randomness of the process. Furthermore, it's utterly misleading. You could say that some tiny event or tiny decision in my life yesterday led me to writing this email, and that's technically true, but so did some tiny event or some tiny decision in my life 15 years ago. It's all a chain. The event yesterday didn't take place in a vacuum. It didn't come out of nowhere. So what's the point? We have no control over it, we don't get to direct it, and we get no useful information out of it. Also, have you actually seen the reports they generate? From a technological point of view, the way they manage to automate their analysis of the fluctuation signatures within the Myers-Joyce field is impressive, but again, it's all meaningless babble with no practical applications. The personal remarks on the reports are even worse. With all due respect to Ron and Terry and their indisputable technical expertise, I don't know what they're doing, and I'm not sure they do either. It's like they're coming up with stuff at random. The above outlines my concerns as the futility of the entire process, and I suspect that they may not be enough to sway you, but I have one final point which I think you should consider very, very carefully. The entire program is an unforgivable waste of Monarch resources. I don't mean money, although the entire Quantum Ripple Causality Research Subdivision is costing us millions and millions of dollars, but that doesn't really matter because I know we can afford it. However, there's a more vital resource they're consuming. Each time they fire up the rig and delve into the Myers-Joyce field, they eat up a huge amount of chronon particles. These are a finite resource, and as you know, we are projecting that the Ground Zero's yield will rapidly diminish as the fracture takes hold, which will happen very soon. You may not understand what the real impact of this is, so let me put it in practical terms. Every single time they detect and analyze a quantum ripple, it costs us a week of potential lifeboat runtime minimum. Given Monarch's primary purpose and total lack of useful results, I believe that's a luxury we cannot afford. I recommend shutting them down immediately or at the latest during our next reorg. We can reallocate their resources to something useful and put Ron and Terry's expertise into great use designing the lifeboat. I'm sure we wouldn't regret putting them to work on that given their track record of working with Chronon Tech. Interesting. So they were researching a way to see changes in the timeline. I wonder if they did cut the funding and that's why they didn't see the change coming here.
Dr. Amaral was the one thing keeping Paul alive, but reading through their exchanges, there was something more than professional going on.
That's not my place to comment on.
I said that a while ago. We knew the fracture would arrive. It was clear very quickly that the process was occurring much faster than Paul's projections. His experiences had led us to believe. That was alarming in itself, but there's another concern. The fracture Paul's condition seems to be accelerating rapidly. I don't know what to do about either one of these issues. I haven't had a chance to examine Paul properly, and of course he won't consent to any real tests at this point. He won't take the time, not with the situation being as critical as it is. He has to prepare for the gala. To take care of every little stupid thing Martin trots out for him. He won't think of himself at all, and I'm afraid that it'll cost us dearly. So I don't know, I'm just speculating, but I believe this acceleration is a reaction to the stutters in time. In zero state, his wave function is further disrupted by the excessive chronon energies within his body. For the university incident, before the fracture, the condition was progressive, but controllable. The lack of stutters helped keep it in check. Now its progress is rampant, and I worry that it may reach a critical point soon. We always knew that was a possibility, but all of our projections assumed we would have years. Time enough to come up with a cure or a way to stop its progress. Which means there's a very real chance that in the near future Paul's condition overtakes him. And if he does become a shifter, I don't know what to do about it. We haven't been able to help Dr. Kim. I don't know what we could do for Paul. I don't know what to do. The treatments are still working, but they take a toll on him, and their effect is greatly diminished. I'm concerned we may hit a point where he's forced to use them so often that the treatment becomes worse than the condition itself. And yet, I don't see any other option. He will not rest. He insists on... Yeah, okay. I'm afraid I may lose him, so... I think that definitely confirms...
Paul was a powerful man. The leader of an empire. But behind the veil, he was a dying man. The signs were clear.
Last chance.
Just one of you. Really? Look, you have to realize you're not going to keep me from the CFR. You don't look like you're in any shape for this. Have it your way.
Why didn't I run? Oh, there's a dampener.
Fucking things.
Shit. Oh, I can't turn it off? Let's use the rifle.
Don't do it, man. Just stay down.
Fuck you. I've got too much writing on this. You're not going anywhere.
It's kind of
They'd stockpiled all the
anticlimactic.
chronon particles from Ground Zero to keep the lifeboat running.
Enough to hopefully last until a proper solution was discovered.
We already know all this. Okay, so please be aware that we have managed to accumulate until this point is very likely to be all the chronon particles we ever have access to. Due to the fracture's effect on the Myers-Joyce field, the Ground Zero anomaly is showing definite signs of weakening. As a result, the chronon particle yield decreases drastically and will soon drop to baseline. While we obviously continue more traditional chronon particle harvesting operations in order to maximize our stockpile, we will need to recognize that sourcing them outside of the Ground Zero conditions is extremely inefficient. Or in plain terms, unless we find another source of chronon particles, and I don't believe we will, what we have now is all we will ever have. Please be aware that all use of chronon technology eats our limited resources. We know all this. Should also realize that the ongoing situation with Jack Joyce constitutes an emergency and will most likely require unconventional chronon particle investments. Just the same, we should be aware of the cost. I expect to see projected chronon particle consumption rates for the foreseeable future and simulations of how long our stockpile will last, adjusted for all the scenarios we have discussed. So we knew that after the last one we read.
The lifeboat revolved around the countermeasure. He knew Will would try to take it back. That's why he was killed. He knew I'd try to do the same eventually.
Clearly, he was right.
Seems to be a lack of clarity about what is appropriate for someone to enter the CFR chamber and mess with the Cronenfield regulator. And because I just had to fire Kevin Janeway because he did the exact same thing, let me remind you of the approved CFR procedure. Do not touch the CFR, period. I may touch the CFR because I'm lead technician in charge of it. Dr. Amaral may touch the CFR because she's our head of research and she knows what she's doing. Mr. Paul Serene may touch the CFR because he's Paul fucking Serene and it's his CFR. Nobody else touches the CFR. On occasion, some enormously lucky individuals who've been previously personally trained by me and are Okay, does this matter? Yeah, this doesn't matter. I'm sorry, we've had too many long dialogues that don't really matter.
Base put it into perspective. They were all misled, manipulated to believing they were doing what was right. What was necessary.
He was not trying to do what was right. He's trying to save his wife.
Liam Burke was an unnecessary casualty.
Liam Burke chose.
Fiona, I'm at the CFR chamber. Door's locked.
That's way above my access level. But since my friend disabled security earlier, I should be able to do this. Listen, I don't really know what the plan is, but it's all up to you now. Good luck.
It was like walking into a shrine. This was our holy relic.
There'd been some kind of struggle in the chamber. I didn't know the details. Somebody cleaned it up.
A man named Charlie Wincott. I believe he chose to take a stand. Unfortunately, it ended badly for him.
Mm-hmm. Well, it seems to be that kind of work environment.
Personal notes on the CFR from Henry Kim. Okay. This thing feels like a conundrum wrapped in a puzzle. It's an incredible piece of technology, and I feel like we're only scratching the surface of what it can do, and we have already learned so much. I thought I had a good understanding of the intricacies of chronon particles and their practical applications before. Now I realize that I've still got a great deal to learn. The chronon field regulator, as I've decided to call it, is a miracle. How such a small device can do so much is beyond me. I know it taps into the Myers-Joyce field, but I don't know how. My experiments just show it can do it. It can also manipulate the field. I wish I knew how. Still, the mechanics of the operation give me ideas, new avenues of thought I've been trying to find for such a long time. The task that I've been set by Mr. Serene has frankly stumped me for years. Knowing that what we observe as the passage of time is just the result of chronon particles being constantly generated within the Myers-Joyce field is a simple fact that I've been aware of for a long time. But being able to manipulate those particles in a meaningful way, well, that's another question. The mechanics of the situation are clear, almost frustratingly so. In a zero-state environment, there are no chronon particles, and thus time is frozen. The idea of artificially flooding an area with chronon particles to enable the passage of time is the obvious solution. But actually finding a way of doing that, that's something else. Not only are chronon particles incredibly difficult to source, so obtaining enough to actually stutter-proof an area for any time longer than a fraction of a second has always seemed impossible. That's why it took William 10 years, though. Perhaps even more importantly, the mechanism of manipulating the particles in a way that would actually allow me to define a certain volume of space as stutter-proofed has constantly eluded me. Well, Ground Zero saw... We know that. Okay. He doesn't know how it works. We already knew they don't know how it works. I believe I'll be able to miniaturize the technology to allow for personalized device, chronon stabilizers. There's still many challenges here, one of which is any significant volume of stutter-proof space would incur an unacceptably high drain. We've read that in a couple of different things now. Even with Mr. Hatch backing me, the thought of disappointing Serene over this makes me quite anxious. I'll be honest, the CFR is becoming a bit of an obsession for me. I wish I could sit down and have that conversation and just ask those questions. How did he build it? What's it actually for? But I've been denied that opportunity. Part of me wants to open the CFR and get to the bottom of it. We already know we can't take it apart, though, because we can't put it back together. I've only dared to open a bit of the casing to get a rough idea of some of the engineering inside. It's amazing work, and it has certainly been a lesson in humility for me. still have a lot to learn, but I'm a very fast learner, and this has to be the most important work anyone has ever engaged in the history of humanity. We succeed in our mission, blah, blah, blah. I'd almost rather not. I'd rather miss. Yeah, Hatch's body is not here. Data samurai. But Charlie's is, so. Yeah, I almost wish I would miss parts of the story by not getting notes than being told the same parts 18 million times.
11 years for Will to build the countermeasure. Beth died for it, and I knew it could fix the fracture.
This fucking thing.
The problem was, I didn't have a clue how to use it. The only person who did was dead. But Monarch had a way of getting to him before that ever happened.
The University time machine. They've got the core here.
Monarch had built their own time machine above the CFR chamber. That's where I needed to go.
You still believed you could go back and save your brother?
Yes.
Am I the only one that would be slightly concerned about what the ramifications of taking the CFR through the time machine would be? Isn't that a huge amount of chronon particles traveling through time? I don't know. The logistics of that feel like they don't make any sense. Like that feels like it would cause catastrophe. Break down the field even further.
Paul took the core of the time machine from the university, hooked it up to his own machine. It was part of his sick desire for control, but that gave me one last shot at fixing things. I could go back, maybe get to Will before Paul killed him. And if I could get the countermeasure in Will's hands, maybe I could still turn everything around.
If you liked that video, go ahead and subscribe. And if you didn't, please email me and tell me why.